just thought of a really good thing that I don't like about this Mustang. The sound. This car just doesn't make the sound that a Mustang should. And let me cut to a clip showing a full throttle acceleration right here. So as you can see, I mean, it sounds okay. I mean, you get that little bit of turbo whistle. I don't know how well that came through on video. It sounds rough and raspy and kind of cool, but I don't know. It just doesn't make Mustang sounds. I feel bad for saying this because this isn't really what this car is intended for, but I'm in kind of a twisty mountain road here. It's, I guess you can call it a mountain road. I'm right along the ocean. The ocean's right there. I'm in the mountains here, and it's big and sloppy. You know, I feel bad for saying that, but you know, it could be a little bit tighter. I think there's just some. I'm just looking at the scenery here. Holy shit, this is nice. This is nice. I think it could be a little bit more planted in the curves. It's definitely better than my 2012 Mustang. I'll give it that. But it still feels like a big car. There's a lot of roll here. It feels pretty good in a straight line, but once you get around corners like this, I've got one coming up right here. Coming up, and then hard left, and then you feel that roll come on. You add some power. It's not bad. It's definitely not bad. I mean, you compare it to my Honda Fit, and it's a million times better, as expected. But for a sports car or a somewhat sporty car, I think the handling could be a little bit better, even in the base model. Okay, another thing that I don't like about this 2015 Mustang. The hood. I know that's very subjective, but sitting in the driver's position, let me just back up for just for a second. The exterior of this car, I like. It's a very good looking car. I much prefer it over my 2012. Or just hit it out of the park with this 2015 Mustang design, and it's really, really sharp. But sitting in the driver's seat, looking out over the hood, I don't know, it just feels a little bit too retro to me. I don't like having the hood so high and flat. It reminds me of like an old 78 Caprice for some reason. Not that I've spent a lot of time in 78 Caprices, but I don't know, it's just, I'm not digging it. I've been driving this car for 2 days now, 108 miles, and I don't know, it just seems a little bit too retro for me. I don't like that. It's funny too, because I've never heard anybody else complain about that. So yeah, again, like I said, I mean, this is just very subjective, and it's just one of those things that I noticed that I personally don't like. I mean, some people might find it to be pretty cool, but I don't know. I'm not digging it. Okay, so I'm not really sure how well you can see me. There's a lot of direct sunlight coming in. It's directly midday. It's noon, and I'm going in and out of the trees like this, so I know there's a lot of flashing, and you can barely see me. So I apologize for that. Hopefully you're seeing some of the scenery. This is really nice. I don't have a second camera today, so you know, I can't point it off into all this stuff, which is just beautiful. But okay, so right away when you saw my first impressions video, you noticed when I was saying that this car just felt very weak and just very, I don't know, it's very uninspiring to me as soon as I got in it and I drove away from the airport. And I think that definitely qualifies as something that I don't like about this car. If this 2015 EcoBoost 4-cylinder Mustang is not in sport mode, it's a bland car. It's completely, it's boring. It's gutless. It just has no power, no feeling, no strength, and it's just, you know, that was my first impression, and that's not a good first impression. I think. I mean, Ford probably wants people to be excited about the Mustang, and a lot of people are, which is a good thing. And I'm seeing some scenery out here that is just amazing. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit distracted again. It took me a while to discover that sport mode, and then once I flipped the switch, okay, you know, everything felt good, and I liked the car again. So, yeah, it's got to be good right from the factory. It's got to be good in the normal mode, and it's just unfortunately it's not. All right, so yeah, that is another thing that I don't like about this car. And as I get turned around here, head back to Portland, start the drive for that. It's going to take a couple hours. So yeah, it's probably really hard to tell from what I just did there, but this gear shift lever has got like a little edge on it on the back, and if you scrape up like that, it's very rough and it hurts. It's a hard plastic edge. It's just not rounded or beveled, and it's just like they cut it off, and it's very sharp. So be careful of that. I definitely don't like it. I don't I don't like that at all. This car is, I hate to say it, it's a little bit rough around the edges. The build quality just isn't there. Every once in a while, when you get out on a rough road, the car makes noises. So right when the dash meets the A-pillar, it's kind of rubbing a little bit, and it makes kind of like a running water sound, which gets really annoying after a while. And I thought it was actually water when I was driving around yesterday and a little bit this morning, maybe just condensation or something, but no, that is actually the dashboard rubbing against the A-pillar. This car, go uphill. That was a nice uphill pull, but that's not the point of this little segment here. I already talked about how much I like this engine, but yeah, this rattling here, the rubbing, the dashboard against the A-pillar, annoying as hell. Can you hear that? Can you hear all that rattling? I mean, it's one thing on a 15-year-old car, but a 2-year-old car? 1-year-old car? Smooth roads like this, it's fine, but you hit those bumps, and it's just, I don't know. I'm not liking that. That is rattling really bad. Actually, it's the C-pillar, and it is the plastic in the back corner, as far as I can tell. It's pretty annoying. So I hope I didn't really sound like I was complaining too much. I know I'm a complainer. I've always been a negative Nancy, and people call me out on that all the time, but you know, no car is perfect. In the previous video where I talked about how much I like this car, I mean, you should get a good sense that I did like it. This is a really cool car. I would never buy one, of course, just simply because it doesn't have a V8. It's got to have a V8, but I don't know. I mean, everything that I complained about in this video, everything that I focused on and touched on that I didn't like, all minor things. I mean, it wouldn't necessarily stop me from going out and buying this car. I would definitely, you know, someday I probably will. I'll have a GT version of this model year, or the 2016 or 2017. It's a good platform. The hood, I don't know, it's going to take some getting used to. But, you know, overall, all my complaints are minor, right? It's not a bad car. It's a great car. So if you're considering a Mustang, EcoBoost 4-cylinder, you can't really go wrong. Definitely drive one. Don't drive the V8 though, because I think you'd really want the V8 over this thing. If you're looking for sporty, you can't afford the insurance on the V8, or you just want to pay for the gas on the V8, this is the way to go. It's fun, it gets good gas mileage, it makes a cool little whistle sound. I guess you can't go wrong with that. Not a bad car, not a bad car. This is a complaint video, but overall, as I said, nice car. Good job, Ford.